everybody, and welcome to CWA Championship Wrestling. I'm Dave Brown with Roger Webb along ringside here today. And boy, it should be a big one. Roger, we've got a special announcement for all the folks today. You know, many times we have wanted to bring you championship matches. We've been able to do it from time to time, but not as much as we would like to. One reason for that is the champions say, I don't want that short TV time limit. And the challengers, same thing. They say, no, I want the full time, the 45 minutes or the 1 hour time limit in order to get a chance to win the belts. Well, we've got a special agreement which has been reached now, and we are going to try it out with a TV timeout, kind of like in a basketball game. Once we reach the 10-minute mark in a championship match, we are then going to call a TV timeout, and then after the break, we'll come back and restart the match. We'll give it a try, see how things work out. That gives us a chance to have the long time limits for championship matches, just like at the arenas. We do have a championship match coming up today. The CWA tag titles will be on the line. Also, we'll take a look at a mini Cyclone Stampede. Lots of action coming up. We'll be back with it in just a moment. All right, Roger, I want to bring everyone up to date on the situation with Jerry Lawler. I think wrestling fans everywhere now are quite aware that Jerry was injured a couple of weeks ago in a match, and we had some comments from Jerry and his doctor last week in which the doctor said he wanted Jerry to stay away from the wrestling ring for a number of weeks. I believe the doctor has settled on 28 days after Jerry kept wanting to shorten the time there. And Jerry told the doctor, okay, I'll go along with you. The doctor says he can do the rest of the stuff, but he cannot wrestle for that period of time. I don't think he made that date quite totally firm, so we don't know for absolutely sure. But at any rate, Jerry is not going to be wrestling today. He has still not been released by the doctor. We hope to do kind of an up-close and personal segment next week and bring you up to date even further on the situation. But right now, take a look at what happened. Just kind of refresh your mind a little bit at the situation that happened with the King. Right now, the opponent for this man, Jeff Jarrett. No doubt in this crowd. No doubt about it. Jeff steps up into the ring. We're about set to go with a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. For official introductions, here's Roger Webb. Thank you, Dave. Oh, boy. Here comes Ronnie P. Gossett. All right.
Okay, we're ready for our first match. First of all, Keith Eric out of Memphis, Tennessee at a weight of 226. And Jeff Jarrett at a weight of 208 out of Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Jerry Lawler gets
CWA
every time I see that tape, Dave Brown, it's music to my ears. I promised you I'd put the King out of wrestling. That's exactly what I did. Put him out of wrestling. Now you're looking at the number 2 man on my list. This is one of the biggest punks in the wrestling business.
Well, I've got to interrupt you, Mr. Gossett, because we have some comments from Jeff Jarrett about the upcoming Cyclone Stampede. Here's what he had to say.
Cyclone Stampede, $10,000 to the winner. The wildest, the craziest match ever to be around this area, ever. Robert Fuller, I'm coming for you and your whole stinking stud stable.
Better look out. You hear what he said?
You are looking at the epitome of nothing in Jeff Jarrett. My latest poll of the sorriest wrestlers in the business rate Jeff Jarrett number 2, and he's closing in on the has-been Jerry Lawler. He is a disgrace to the wrestling business. Just look at him. He looks like a rubber band. Look at that body. You call that a body? That's the sorriest piece of plunder I've ever looked at. He's not an athlete. He is nothing. Look at him. I would hide if I looked like him. I wouldn't have the audacity to climb in the ring. I really wouldn't. I mean, he is a joke. He needs to be on Laugh-In. He needs to be on Hee Haw. He doesn't need to be in the wrestling business. And the only reason he's in the wrestling business is because of his senile grandfather and his illiterate father, Jerry Jarrett, who trained him. So after he trained him, you can tell he knows nothing at all.
Number 1,
look who trained him. That's a lucky win right there.
No luck about that. That's just fine athletic ability.
He don't have any ability.
Jeff?
Hey, fat boy, I'm talking to you. Get out of here. I thought I was going to have to call you out here, but you did me a favor. Hey, listen to me when I'm talking. Now, let me tell you something, Gossett. Last week, I sat back there, and I let you run Jerry Lawler down. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at Master Payne. I'm not mad at that stinking Hickerson. I'm mad at myself for sitting back there and listening to you. Well, today I'm out here, fat boy, and I'm making a challenge. Yeah, I'm making a challenge to you. Listen up to it. You get you and your stinking goons, and you put them in a match with me and any partner I can find. Now, Jerry Lawler stood behind me ever since I stepped foot in this building, ever since I stepped foot in the wrestling business. And I'm here today, and I'm going to stand behind him. Now, yeah, there's the two fat boys. I'll take on any both of you guys. Let me get a partner. But after I beat you stinking fat boys, I get a match with you. Let me tell you something, you punk. Let's see how brave you are now. You are one of the... I can beat you anytime, Jeff Jarrett. Hey, you just signed the match. Guts. It would be a thrill, an honor for me to get you because I can't stand the grounds you walk on. Hey, fat boy, you just... I hate you as much as I hate Lawler. You are a punk. Well, hey, shut up. You just signed the match after I take on these two fat boys. Yeah. You get your senile old fossil grandfather out here. Hey, Eddie. Out here. He's out here. I've been listening to you. Just put your name on the contract. You better believe I'll put my name on it because I'm not afraid of you. Me and a partner have been afraid of you. Hold on just a second, Gossett. It's under contract, but you have to sign it. Hey, I want to get this clear, Gossett. Let's get this on the table and clear. After me and anybody I can find back there, any partner I get, after we beat your two goon squads here, then I get a match with you. Is that right? That's right. Listen to Alice in Wonderland. Who's he going to find in the party? Who's he going to get? You sound... You goose. Ain't nobody that stupid. Right. Nobody going to be your partner there. You sound you punk. You look like Alice in Wonderland. You're going nowhere but down, boy. Fat boy.
Been waiting to see him do that. Look at this. Look who just walked out of the dressing room area. Kerry Von Erich. Whoa, what a team, Eddie. Kerry Von Erich and Jeff Jarrett.
This is a setup. This idiot has tricked me. I'm not wrestling that Texas moron. That idiot, he's not even supposed to be here.
Hey, your name's on that contract. In the ring, Jeff Jarrett and Kerry Von Erich. Jeff over here smacks Gossett again. And the modern-day warrior, Kerry Von Erich, is joining him. And now, Gossett and his guys not advancing like they were a few moments ago. Gossett's still running his mouth out here at Jeff. Kerry and Jeff standing their ground here. P.Y. Chuhai, Phil Hickerson, and the Master of Pain. They're kind of moving sideways about now. Gossett says, yeah, now let's go, guys. We'll take care of them later, he says. The match is signed. Eddie Marlin's got that name on the contract. It's signed, and the match is signed. Yeah, all right. Very good. Kerry.
The match is signed, Kerry.
I'll tell you what, like a bunch of monkeys, they signed it right like that, didn't they?
That's exactly right. The match is signed. When me and Kerry take care of the Master of Pain and Big P.Y. Chuhai, then I get a match with Ronnie P. Gossett right in the ring. And I can't wait because I hate that stinking fat slob.
We're looking forward to it, Jeff, the match with the two of you, and you getting your hands on Gossett, too. Match is signed. We'll be back here in a moment.
Hello, everyone. I'm Roger Webb with Championship Wrestling. I want to remind you that this Wednesday, Championship Wrestling will be in Owensboro, Kentucky, 8 p.m. at the Big Sports Center. And what a great night of action we're going to have for you. Listen to this card. Detroit Demolition in the ring against Jimmy Masters. You're going to see Dutch Mantell against Frankie the Thumper Lancaster. Big Humongous and Jeff Jarrett teaming up to go against the big Master Payne with P.Y. Chuhai and Roddy P. Gossett IV at ringside. A special added match. No matter what happens, Jeff Jarrett is going to get a chance to get his hands on Roddy P. Gossett IV in a special added match. A CWA tag title match. Robert Fuller, Brian Lee with Sylvia against the Mason-Dixon Connection. Then the big main event, and what an event it is, it's called a Renegade Cyclone Stampede match. P.Y. Chuhai, I'm sure you're here.
Oh, boy, $10,000. $10,000, the first time in history right there in Kentucky, right? That Cyclone Stampede. That means, then, you can put on anything, wear anything, tote anything to win. You know what? I'll do anything to win that money. For $10,000, I'd dig up my grandmama and bring her down there and beat him with somebody. You know what I'm talking about? Because I want it. But, let me get to this thing right here, this little match. Step in here, boy. Step in here. Let me see this. Here it is. P.Y. Chuhai and the Master of Pain against Humongous and Jeff Jarrett. What a joke. You know what? Let me tell you something. You might be big and you might be strong, Mr. Humongous. But let me tell you something. There's one thing that you don't have, and that's looks, because you got to be big and ugly if you hide your face like that. But let me tell you something, Jeff Jarrett. We're going to get you in there. Our strategy will keep you in the ring where Humongous can't get in there. We're going to beat you like a dog, and you won't get to see Mr. Gossett in that special match.
Von Erich back with us here again. Gary?
First of all, it's great to be back here in Tennessee. But folks, I'll tell you this. Jeff Jarrett, a long time ago, came to my rescue in Dallas. He came to me in town when I was very down. He helped get my career back on its feet. Jeff is a very good friend of mine, and I want to state this right now. He's become more and more like a brother to me every day. Jeff Jarrett has got the heart of a lion. Now, I'm going to tell you this, Gossett. What you do to Jeff Jarrett is what you do to me. So when you screw with me and Jeff Jarrett, we're coming at you fist and fire. Now, I don't want anybody to get confused. I still want the World Heavyweight title. Jerry Lawler, I know you're hurt. I know you're injured. But when you get unhurt and you're not injured, because I don't want the basis of people saying, well, Kerry won the Unified World Heavyweight Championship because Jerry Lawler was hurt. I want you well. I want you well, big boy. Because I'm coming at you, and I will take the World Heavyweight title. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Kerry Von Erich. Glad to have you with us here today and in the upcoming match, too. Let's get him in the ring right now. We got one coming up here, the Detroit Demolition coming in. Detroit Demolition, of course, been around the territory for a few weeks here. Strong wrestler. That's Chris Frazier who's stepped into the ring right now. Referee Jerry Calhoun will be the referee for this one. And as soon as Demolition makes his way in, here he comes right here. We'll be set to go with this match.
Boy, what a big guy.
Oh, he is huge. Go ahead with the official introductions there, Roger.
Thank you, Dave. Now for the introductions of the match. First of all, wrestling in the red tights out of Mississippi at a weight of 216 pounds, Chris Frazier. His opponent in this match at a weight of 315 out of Detroit, the Detroit Demolition.
Referee Jerry Calhoun, a signal for the bell, and Detroit Demolition jumps Chris from behind. Boy, it looks like Demolition is wasting no time seizing control of this match here.
Yeah, Chris Frazier giving away a weight. To the ropes goes Chris. Nice clothesline down on his back on the mat. Drops down with a knee. And does it again right on the forehead. All 300-plus pounds. Got to be smart. Oh, boy.
I tell you, this Detroit Demolition is a powerful wrestler, and he has some real wrestling moves that will put you away. He also has some tendency to use wrestling moves that are of the illegal variety from time to time.
Whatever means he'll use it to win a match, whatever.
This one is legal. It's a version of the Japanese sleeper. It's one of his favorite ways of beating an opponent. It looks like he's got Chris Frazier asleep right here.
He's trying to put him away.
Referee says it's over, and 58 seconds. Detroit Demolition. Come on, get him to break it. Finally, Jerry Calhoun, the referee, gets him to break it. And Chris Frazier, nighty-night time here on CWA Championship Wrestling as Detroit Demolition heads up. Well, coming in right now, it's the team of Robert Fuller, Brian Lee, and, of course, Sylvia right along with a surprise? Yeah, all right. A new surprise from the Stud Stable.
Dave, I'm going to cool down here just a minute and give these people a new direction. Something I've been thinking about. You know, even a stud at times can be wrong. Even a stud at times can realize you're walking down a path there, it's cleaned out real nice for you, but maybe it's the wrong path. Maybe you're heading over here, Dave, and maybe you ought to turn your life around and head over there in that other direction. What I'm talking about is that I got ideas of taking what belongs to me. My grandfather should have left me a business, CWA. It clearly belongs to me. And I've been going the wrong direction. Maybe I've been out here trying to pay a bunch of money to get Jarrett hurt. I don't think I have enough money to be able to fight the politics of this area. That you put Jerry Jarrett and Eddie Marlin and that goofy Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett and all the politics that goes on in this area right here, how am I expected to be able to go out and follow that line? I don't have enough money or enough political background to be able to do it. But there is something, Dave, that I'm excellent at. There's an endeavor I do better than... Shut up out there, up there! There's an endeavor I do better at than anybody else in professional wrestling. Baby, and what it's called is winning. And once you win, once you get down to that fine line of owning it all, Dave, having every bit of it and winning it and making that your bottom line, you are going to, in the end, become to be the man you want to be. You're going to own everything that you want. Rather than stand here and talk about it, get a full shot here, boys. Rather than talk about it, let me show you. Check that picture out inside that A. Check out this picture over here. What those are, the Southern Tag Team titles. Bardstown never had it so good. That stinking little Bardstown, Kentucky, nothing town, baby, saw a title change. Mason Dixon, bite the dust right there for him. But you know something? You kick the population of that town in, man, you ain't got enough people for nothing. I want everybody to be able to see the greatest tag team champions of all time. So I, in the tradition of being the great to-be promoter of this business and the greatest wrestler of all time, are going to put these titles right here, right up on your TV today, so that all the millions of fans will have the opportunity to see what is going to be the new beginning of the Tennessee Studs and the Stud Stable. We are champions. We're going to own it all. And then, Eddie Marlin, I want you to think real closely about it, son. Who are you going to come to sign your contract? Who are you going to come to when you come to get your champion? You're going to put your knee pads on, baby, and you're going to crawl up to the Tennessee Stud, and then just maybe I'll be assigning some more CWA contracts. I'm going to have everything, and you people are going to get used to it. The Stud is going to walk roughshod over Tennessee and take back what's mine.
Tennessee Stud, Robert Fuller, and Brian Lee with Sylvia. They have the CWA tag titles, and you just heard Robert say he's going to put them on the line right here. Rematch with the Mason-Dixon connection coming up after these messages.
Hello, everyone. what? I'm Roger Webb with Championship Wrestling. Want to remind you, this Wednesday in Owensboro, Kentucky, at the Big Sports Center, 8 p.m., we have a tremendous card lined up just for you. Listen to this. In the first match, you're going to see the Big Detroit Demolition in the ring against Jimmy Masters. Dutch Mantell will go against Frankie the Thumper Lancaster. Listen to this one. The Big Humongous teaming up with Jeff Jarrett, and they're going to go against the Master Pain P.Y. Chuhai and Roddy P. Gossett IV. Special added match. No matter what happens, Jeff Jarrett going to have an opportunity to get his hands on Roddy P. Gossett IV in that special added match. A CWA tag title match. Robert Fuller, Brian Lee, and of course Sylvia in the corner, going against the Mason-Dixon Connection. Then the big main event, a Renegade Cyclone Stampede match. The winner wins $10,000 this Wednesday in Owensboro.
Smothers and John Paul out here. Stepping up to the ring, they're going to try to take the belts back. Roger?
Thank you, Dave. Now for the introductions. First of all, the former holders of the CWA Tag Team belts at a combined weight of 457 pounds, wrestling out of Springfield, Tennessee, Tracy Smothers. His partner out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, John Paul. And the current holders of the CWA Tag Team Championship belts, first of all, from Orlando, Florida, Brian Lee. And also out of Knoxville, Tennessee, the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller. And Miss Sylvia at ringside.
Roger, it's going to be a 45-minute time limit match. Remember, the TV time limit rules are in effect. Once we get to the 10-minute mark, if we get along that far, we will call a TV timeout. At that point, the match will be stopped. We'll run a break, and then we'll start it again right after that. Tell you what, Robert Fuller and Brian Lee had some words about the upcoming Cyclone Stampede. Let's take a listen to that.
You know, all the money in the world, honey. Money means something. Everybody's wanting to get hold of money, but it's when you win something, baby, and Cyclone Stampede is going to be your prize. I'm going to win it and buy her diamonds with it. Count on it. Cyclone Stampede.
Fuller and Sylvia. John Paul with Brian Lee down on the mat. He had him down for a 2 count. Could not hold him for a count of 3.
Beautiful move. John Paul, Brian Lee, the man in the ring right now.
And in case you missed the announcement earlier, John Paul and Tracy Smothers, until just a few days ago, were the CWA Tag Champions, but in Bardstown, Kentucky, Robert Fuller and Brian Lee won the match and the belts, and they are now the champions. Robert Fuller has said at his insistence, I'm not sure that's the case, but at least that's his story. He says he wanted to show everyone all around America just how they did it. So he granted them a rematch here today on CWA Wrestling.
Brian Lee now not in the best shape, over to confer with Robert Fuller outside of the ring on the floor, and John Paul really belted him a good right hand. He's taking his time by crawling back in the ring. I don't blame him.
Yeah, he and Fuller, no telling what that conference was all about. Probably telling him to pull hair and gouge him in the eyes, and no telling what else. Sylvia, of course, always a very dangerous factor at ringside with that kendo stick you see in her right hand.
There's a tag on Tracy Smothers, up over the rope, hammers Brian with the right hand, double whip in the rope, double elbow. Brian Lee down. There's a cover, count of 1, count of 2.
That's twice already in the match that Tracy and John Paul have been very close to regaining the belts. They've had a 2 count, but just could not hold them there for a count of 3. We're just a little past 2 minutes into the action. 45 minutes, the overall time limit for the CWA Tag Title match.
Whoa! Beautiful drop kick. He really put it down. Repeats it on Robert Fuller. Fuller and Brian Lee out of the ring, out on the floor, and saying, hey, that's enough of that stuff.
I tell you what, if Robert Fuller did, in fact, insist on this match, he's got to be having second and third thoughts right about now, because he and Brian Lee have been outclassed so far, as Tracy Smothers and John Paul have looked mighty, mighty good. 2 minutes, 45 seconds into the action.
Tracy Smothers now getting the crowd behind him as he's ready for Brian Lee. Brian Lee trying to slow it down just a little bit. They tie it up. Brian Lee into a standing side headlock on Tracy Smothers. Now Brian Lee shoved into the ropes. Shoulder about Tracy Smothers down, off again, repeats it for a third time. Beautiful move.
He just used Brian's own momentum as he was flying across the ring. He kind of shoved him down a little bit, and Brian Lee went flying through the rope. Tracy Smothers, a little momentum, comes with a sliding kick, and got both Fuller and Brian Lee down here on the floor. Now Lee grabs the kendo stick from Sylvia. Robert Fuller grabbed it away from him. He's passing it back to Sylvia.
It's almost like Fuller and Brian Lee have yet to wake up.
That's true. That's very true. They better. They're going to be former champions, and it'll be one of the shortest reigns ever for Southern Tag Team Champions if they lose these belts here today.
Brian Lee back in the ring. Tracy Smothers waiting, and we've tied up. Smothers now once again into that standing side headlock as Brian Lee pushed him into the ropes. Here goes Tracy Smothers back, and boy, did you see Fuller?
Yeah, need him in the back, and Silvio had the referee distracted all the way down in a neutral corner down there. And that allowed Robert Fuller to get him in the back.
Brian Lee slams Tracy Smothers down hard on the second rope, way up in the air with that knee right in the chest.
Well, Brian Lee and Robert Fuller will take advantage if they can find a weakness. In this case, they created a weakness. They created it illegally, but that never has bothered them before. And it won't today. Robert Fuller working on Tracy Smothers.
Tracy Smothers now whipped into the ropes, and they've got the target, that chest that has been salted up by Brian Lee. Tracy Smothers out of breath. And look at Fuller pour it on. Tracy Smothers, boy, he's really sticking him with one right after the other. Now, Fuller pushed into the rope. Fuller's over Tracy Smothers. Oh, boy, they're both down.
Both down. Fuller struggling to get on his feet. He's crawling over toward the corner, and he gets the tag on Brian Lee. Tracy gets the tag on John Paul.
John Paul now taking on both Fuller and Lee. Look at him go, using that big right hand. Fuller and Lee's heads smashed together. And now there's Tracy in the ring. Fuller into the rope. Yeah, he's going for a sleeper on Fuller. And an abdominal stretch. Oh, there's Sylvia.
Sylvia jumped into the ring and nailed John Paul with a kendo stick. Fuller takes his feet away from him. Shoulders are down. Referee was involved in it, but he gets the 3 count. And there they come rolling out of the ring, happy with themselves. Yeah, take the belt.
You see that?
Yeah, we saw exactly.
What happens when you mess with the staple?
We saw exactly how you did it. Sylvia jumped in there with a kendo stick and nailed John Paul in the back. Tracy, we saw exactly what it was.
Dave, that ain't right.
No, it isn't.
You know, Robert Fuller, it's all right that you come out here and you holler about how you're going to change your path, how you're going to go the right way, how the CWA is nothing but a bunch of lying, backstabbing, no good people. You're the lying, backstabbing, no good, nothing happening punk. You just say you own this place. You don't own nothing. Eddie Marlin, this ain't right. John and myself want a return match. We want our titles back. The ones we worked for, defending against, in front of all these people out here and all you people at home. Eddie, this ain't right. If you're back there in the back, listen, please come out here because this cannot stand. Robert Fuller, you're not my boss. You don't sign my checks, and you're not going to beat us again, pal. We want a return match. Eddie, if you're out there, please come out here.
Here's Eddie. Tracy, you're exactly right. Eddie, you've heard, I'm sure, what they were saying.
That's right, Tracy. I wasn't in Bardstown. I didn't see what happened, but I seen what happened here, and it's not right. And Robert Fuller, I know you're back there listening and watching. You can come out here and sign the match, or I'll come back there and get the belts and hold them up, the belts up, and we'll carry them for the review board.
Tell them, take them for the USWA.
That's right. And it'll take at least 30 days, Robert, and you will be out of business for...
Let me ask you something. Let me get in your face just a minute and ask you something. How do you figure I'm supposed to go next week and wrestle Jimmy Golden, my own family, that you set up for me and be able to defend the tag title in the same match. How you figure I'm going to do that, Eddie Martin?
I don't know, Robert Fuller. That's for you to worry about. You've been running off your mouth how tough you was and how you could do this and that. That's your problem. All I know is, you shut up 1 minute, big boy. We want this tag match on first because we're going to get our titles back because I know Jimmy Golden's going to run your big fat butt out of town. And we're going to run our titles back to these people here and all these people out here. So you buckle it up, and you too, you goofy Brian Lee. You sold out for money, man. You're a nothing-happening snake, just like this one right here.
Let me let him do that, Ron. Let me tell you just a second. No, I'm not going to let him do nothing. Let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to get these two punks right here hurt. I'm going to tell you something, Tracy Smothers. This is not worth the hospital that you're going to spend. And look at me, Eddie Martin. Let me tell you straight to your face. After I get through with these bums here, I'm going to take Jimmy Golden and make mincemeat out of him, baby. And then I'm winning Cyclone Stampede. I'm the toughest man you ever saw. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to own your dang business. And I'm going to own your titles. And I'm taking Jimmy Golden's head home with me, Daddy.
Got the championship match. All right, Tracy and John.
I'm going to tell you something. Everybody saw how they cheat. The CWA titles are coming back to the Mason-Dixon connection. We can guarantee it. I want to thank Eddie Martin for giving us this return match because we are going to get our titles back. Now, Robert Fuller, I'm going to leave you and your whole stinking stud stable with this. John and myself can't come out here and out-talk that big fat mouth of yours, but I'm going to lay it on you like this, and it goes back to Country Boy Can't Survive. We're going to put a hurting on you so hard and fast, we're going to put it on you faster it takes you to pour that peroxide on that goofy blonde witch's head, and that's the bottom line. Guarantee it.
We'll be back. This right here. Got something kind of interesting today. This is a mini version of something that's going to be coming up this week, talking about the Renegade Cyclone Stampede. Kind of review the rules for us just a little bit as we're about to get this one going here.
Well, Dave, as you know, every man can wear whatever he wants to the ring, carry whatever he wants to the ring, and use it. And before the match, all the wrestlers will draw a number out. Nobody knows what number that is. Number 1 and number 2 will come out at the ring of the bell and start the match. And every minute after that, another wrestler will enter the ring. We'll tap the bell and say number 3, tap the bell and say number 4. Right. And of course, this morning is sort of a mini version. We're not allowed in the studio here to bring the different objects that the wrestlers would want to bring in, like we can at the Coliseum. So they'll be today in their regular wrestling tights, but we just wanted the fans to get some small idea of just what it can be. There's no way to tell them. It's rough, it's tough, it's wild. Somebody's going to win a lot of money.
That's right. And today, even, the Renegades folks have put up $2,000 just so these guys would have lots of interest in who wins this one today, right?
That's right. Tommy Watson, Renegade people, has really gone all out, and I think this will be probably the biggest event of the year. And if you're ready, I'm ready, and we'll let the fans see.
We've got 6 of them here today. There'll be at least twice that many, and maybe a lot more than that at the arenas. But we've got to go ahead and bring them out here, Eddie, and I guess we'll, once number 1 and number 2...
And just remember, today they can only wear their wrestling tights, but the arenas, they can wear anything and bring anything.
All right.
It'll be wild.
This is Mike Masters up here against P.Y. Chuhai. Let me get over here so I can ring the bell when Jerry Calhoun signals. And Jerry, here we go with a mini version of the Renegade Cyclone Stampede. P.Y. Chuhai. Well, this one looks like a mismatch from the beginning here as far as size and experience goes, with P.Y. Chuhai and Mike Masters. However, Eddie, I guess if Mike has to hang on for a minute, and he might be able to get some help in there, depending on who won the number 3 draw.
Number 3, there might be some Mike, or it might be some more punishment for it. You got a...
Yeah, I've got the watch running, and waiting for the 1 minute mark, and then we'll sound the bell, and then whoever has drawn number 3 will be coming into the ring. Mike Masters all off the ropes. P.Y. Chuhai nailed him with a big upper arm when he came off of there. Head into the turnbuckles. All right, that's the first minute. Number 3.
Number 3.
Frankie Lancaster, the thumper. Frankie Lancaster grabs Hickerson.
You can just imagine in the arenas, Frankie Lancaster could have had anything he wanted to, a chain, a brass nuts, or whatever.
Baseball bat, yeah.
Right, he'd been in trouble for Phil Hickson.
Well, he's doing pretty good right now, just with his fist. Able to use the fist, too.
You got the clock running, Eddie.
Yes, I do. 3 of them in there right now at the 2-minute mark. Whoa, double drop kick. Good move by Masters and Frankie Lancaster to put P.Y. Chuhai down. You can be eliminated in this by pin, by over the top rope, or by submission. And right now they are working on Hickerson, P.Y. Chuhai. Lancaster, Hickerson raked him across the eyes. Good move by Hickerson. Hickerson got Mike Masters, too. Number 4.
Number 4 coming to the ring.
Action Jackson. Boy, you sure do have some big ones in Hickerson and Action Jackson. And Frankie Lancaster, no small wrestler himself. The smallest man in there is Mike Masters, and Action Jackson just took him down to the mat with a clothesline. Now he comes and grabs Frankie Lancaster, pops him with a right hand, head into the turnbuckles. Phil Hickerson over, picks up Mike Masters by the hair.
Just think, Dave, if that was 18 to 20 men in there, and every one of them had a foreign object and dressed with motorcycle helmets, football pads, or whatever, what a wild event it'd be.
That's true. You would eliminate getting hit in the top of the head with a fist because they might, in fact, be wearing a football helmet or a motorcycle helmet or something like that. Hickerson with a big power slam drives Mike Masters to the mat. He gets a count of 1, 2, 3. Mike Masters has been eliminated at 2:55. Number 5. Number 5 is the grappler who comes in. Wrestling under the mask, the grappler. He nailed Frankie Lancaster from behind. Lancaster turns and pops him. Remember, it's every man for himself. This is not a team event. The last man standing will be the winner, and today wins $2,000. Remember, as Eddie has said, they can have foreign objects with them. They can wear anything. They can bring anything, and they're able to use it at the arena. And at the arena, they're going to be going for 5 times as much money. They're going to be going for $10,000. You get a lot of serious things happening for that kind of money.
Not kidding. There'll be some damage put out, I'm telling you.
Frankie Lancaster being triple teamed actually here by the grappler, P.Y. Chuhai and Action Jackson. Now they grab him from behind. Number 6. Oh! It's Lord Humongous. Humongous grabs the grappler, hops him with a clothesline. Down to the mat he goes. Grabs Phil Hickerson, smacks him with that big face mask that he wears. Over the top rope, Frankie Lancaster. So at 4:22, Frankie Lancaster has been eliminated. Hickerson was just eliminated. Oh, Action Jackson at 4:34. Tell you what, Humongous not taking any time at all. Now he's still got the grappler in there. Picks him straight up over his head, suspends him up there. Now just drops him. The crowd says, yeah, spin him around. Humongous picks him up on the shoulder. There he goes with his version of that airplane spin, and he helicopters him down to the mat. Count of 1, 2, and 3. We've got ourselves a winner here at 5 minutes, 10 seconds of the mini version of the Cyclone Stampede. It's Lord Humongous. He doesn't stay around to celebrate. He just takes the victory and leaves.
Right, he'll get his 2,000. And just want to remind them, with all the top talent in the area be in the ring, 18 to 20 men, every man for himself, anything goes, and the winner get $10,000. I got to see it.
All right, Eddie. Mason-Dixon Connection will be involved in the Cyclone Stampede. Here's what they had to say about it.
All right, Renegade Cyclone Stampede.
That's right. Wear anything, bring anything, and use anything. And I'm telling you, we're coming $10,000.
10 grand.
Hello, wrestling fans. I'm Roger Webb with Championship Wrestling. The sparks gonna fly this Wednesday in Owensboro, Kentucky at 8 p.m. at the Sports Center. Listen to this action. Detroit Demolition against Jimmy Masters. You're also going to see Dutch Mantell in the ring against Frankie the Thumper Lancaster. Humongous would team up with Jeff Jarrett, their opponents, the Master Payne, P.Y. Chuhai, and Roddy P. Gossett IV at ringside. A special added match. No matter what happens, Jeff Jarrett going to have an opportunity to get his hands on Roddy P. Gossett IV. A CWA tag title match. Robert Fuller with Brian Lee and Sylvia against the Mason-Dixon Connection. Then the big main event of the evening, a Renegade Cyclone Stampede match.
You don't have to worry about a Renegade Cyclone Stampede match. Let me tell you something, you rednecks out there. Get you a drink of water or caress your old lady one time. I'm talking to you, Jeff Jarrett. After my men get through with you, you still got to go through me. And this punch has put the king of wrestling, Jerry Lawler, down. This punch has put many other men down. I hate your guts. Intensive care won't even keep you out of that match. I'm going to beat your brains out. I'm going to suplex you. I'm going to pile drive you. I'm going to DDT you. Anything I want to do. Because you're mine in that town. No political connections can save you. No letting your daddy, letting your granddaddy step in will save you. I'm going to take care of you because you slapped me. You messed up my cosmetic surgery. I've got this face exactly the way I want it to be, and it's going to stay that way. Jeff Jarrett, you're going down. You're just like the Titanic. There is no hope for you. I'll beat your sticking brains out.
Well, what can you say after a mess like that? Jeff Jarrett will have plenty to say this Wednesday in Owensboro at 8 p.m. Be there.
A couple of new faces on Championship Wrestling, or should I say a new face and a new mask on CWA Championship Wrestling today. The Eliminator and Johnny Reb in the ring right now. Well, they're going against some tough competition coming up here, Roger.
Master of Pain and P.Y. Chuhai. I don't envy the team of Johnny Reb and the Eliminator.
I tell you, of course, Master of Pain, huge, and Hickerson weighs in. Well, speaking of weight, Ronnie P. Gossett coming out here. Master of Pain and P.Y. Chuhai's corner. How about the official intros?
Thank you, Dave. First of all, on my left, at a combined weight of 481 pounds, first of all, Johnny Reb, his partner from parts unknown, the Eliminator. Master of Pain, P.Y. Chuhai, their combined weight 614. And it'll be the Master of Pain and the Eliminator starting things out. And right away, the Master of Pain takes body slams, the Eliminator hard on the mat. And way up, drops down, and there's a cover, one. But Master of Pain says, no, not yet. Punish a guy a little bit off the ropes. Oh, boy. He hit the Master of Pain like you would hit a brick wall. There's the tag on P.Y. Chuhai. The Eliminator over the second rope, flies out of the ring, on the floor. Now look at Gossett. He's got to get his 2 cents in. Jerry Calhoun, the referee's attention diverted to P.Y. Chuhai. Now Gossett, gently, of course, helps him back to the ring. Eliminator now really being worked over by P.Y. Chuhai. The Eliminator now. Head slammed into that top turnbuckle, and there's a tag on the big guy, the Master of Pain. Big foot right in the midsection, double teaming at P.Y. Chuhai and the Master of Pain. Master of Pain picks the Eliminator up, slams him hard, backs him into the corner, whips him into the ropes. Oh, big clothesline. He just speared him with it. Count of one, count of two, three. Well, they had no trouble at all, those guys.
Boy, I tell you, a team that size, you've got to consider them a favorite every time they step in there. It's certainly the case here today.
Well, Johnny Reb never even was able to get in. He never saw any action.
Well, I tell you what, Ronnie P. Gossett out here, the master of pain, of course, involved in the victory in the match there. They have some comments about the Cyclone Stampede. Here's what they had to say.
Renegade Cyclone Stampede. I can hardly wait. $10,000 for Ronnie Gossett IV. I can use the money for a lot of things. The competition, action fierce.
Our last look at Robert Fuller, what with a loser leave town match coming up.
I know you enjoy saying that very much. I know how you feel, and I know how you commentate about me, and I know there's nothing you'd like more, or you probably figure you're going to save your job some way if you see Jimmy Golden beat me and run me out of here, because you know as well as I do, I'm about to take over this Jarrett operation. CWA is coming my way. Now, Eddie Marlin thinks, and now, Eddie Marlin, you thinking, man, that's a bad deal in the first place. But you're thinking we're going to go out with Mason Dixon and defend these titles, baby, and we're going to lose them, and then I'm going to go back with Jimmy Golden, and your problems are going to be solved. Let me tell you something, Mr. Hotshot. First of all, nobody beats the Tennessee Stud. Not nobody in the land. And as far as I got my man here, when I decide I'm going to be tag partners with a man, I decide now in the right way. And I decide that we're going to win the titles, then I'm going to decide we're going to keep them. The partner I had before this one right here was a stinking, low-down, good-for-nothing piece of garbage that I carried up and down these roads. When we got to the building, I might as well have put him on my back instead of a tag team partner and carried him in that ring and all around. I'm talking about Jimmy Golden, a stinking family turncoat that come out here trying to say that I don't own CWA, that I've been out here lying. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Golden. You get out here and you tell these people how tough you are. We're going to give you your opportunity to show them how tough you are. Eddie Marlin, I want you to get a front row seat. I want you to be sitting out there. I want you to see us eat Mason Dixon's lunch. Walk a hole in their body, baby. And then I want you to sit right there, because the next thing I'm going to show you is my own family. Jimmy Golden, my turncoat cousin. I'm going to show you how to whoop him, baby. How to get a mud hole in him good and deep. And then I'm going to walk that one dry. And then after that's over, I'm going in that Cyclone Stampede. And the $10,000, that can wait, baby, because we win the $10,000. The stable's going on the darndest party you ever saw. We'll spend it all in one night. But the one thing I want you to know is this mouth right here that y'all say flops so bad now, it's got a long set of teeth in it, Daddy. And there's going to be some batting going on next week. We're going to win everything. We're going from the bottom right to the top. And I'm guaranteeing you someday, Brown, you're going to see me. And when you do, you remember something for me. And you remember to go to Eddie Marlin and you ask him, how you expect me, Mr. Marlin, to keep my job when Robert Fuller takes over? Because I'm getting rid of every one of you rats, and it ain't too long before I do it.
Well, you got to beat them in a ring first. Let me tell you about it. They do have the CWA tag titles. Robert Fuller and Brian Lee with Sylvia. Sylvia, of course, involved here today in the way that they retained those CWA tag team titles. Roger, let's just take a kind of a look at the way things went today here on CWA Wrestling.
Well, first of all, we had the Detroit Demolition in the ring against Chris Frazier, and he put that Japanese sleeper on him, and his lights were out real quick.
Absolutely. It took less than a minute, as a matter of fact, after Jeff Jarrett had won his match against Keith Eric earlier.
And then we had, it was a CWA Tag Team Championship match. Of course, the current holders, I don't like it, but they got the belts.
They got them, you're right.
That's Fuller and Lee, of course, at ringside, Sylvia. Mason Dixon Connection, Tracy Smothers, and Brian Lee in the ring. And not Brian Lee, excuse me, John Paul.
John Paul,
and,
right.
And they gave it a good shot. In fact, they had everything going their way, and then we saw interference.
Exactly. I think Tracy and John Paul were perhaps determined that they were going to take the belts right here today on TV and prove again to the fans, as if they had to, that they are championship wrestlers. But unfortunately, Sylvia jumped in there with that kendo stick.
As usual. I don't think she could sit in the chair if she had to.
I think you're right.
Then we moved on, and what a crazy thing this was, this Renegade Cyclone Stampede. And I've never seen anything like it, but I like it.
I tell you, it's a wild one, no doubt about it. That one was won, of course, by Humongous.
On the big Humongous. And boy, when he came in, he cleared it out quick. Of course, you saw Action Jackson in there, P.Y. Chuhai, and The good thing about that, you never can tell who you're going to have in there. You know, they're double teaming
That's true.
each other for a while.
Look out at the arenas around the way. And, of course, in the main event was 3 straight falls for P.Y. Chu High and the Master of Pain. Roger, we've talked ourselves out of time here and had action out of time, too. We'll be back with you next week for more of the same. For Roger Webb, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of championship wrestling.